Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video on all of my bronzers, contours and highlights that I use on this pale little face of mine. I'm going to start out with contour kits. I've got a couple. First one that I can see here is the DB Cosmetics Pro Contour Palette. And this is what it looks like on the inside. It looks very similar to the Kat Von D Shade Light palette. I don't have that palette, so I can't talk about like quality similarities, but I think this one is a much cheaper quality. The colors are great, don't get me wrong. This, no, not that one. This pale contour color here is really nice for pale skin. It's got like a coolish undertone, but it's not too gray. And these highlight colors are actually pretty nice for setting underneath your eyes or anywhere else that you've highlighted, but they're just so powdery. When I put my brush in it, it just flies up everywhere, and I've lost like half of this color because powder's just gone everywhere. It's crazy. This would be a really nice one though if you're a beginner. It's not crazy pigmented, so you're not gonna make it look like there's dirt on your face. It just isn't the best quality if you kind of are more experienced with makeup. Another drugstore palette is the Australis AC on Tour palette, and this one is really nice. It's the same deal. It's a little powdery, but not as powdery as the DB one. This contour color here is what I use to, this contour color in the middle is what I use to contour my face. The only thing with this palette is you have to be so careful. If you take more than a tiny little bit of product, you are going to look like dirt is on your face, and that is not cute. But I actually do also really like this color here for bronzing. It's really nice. This highlight shade as well is freaking awesome. Way better than the one in the Anastasia kit. Speaking of the Anastasia kit, here she is here, and this is a really fantastic product. It is a little more expensive, but the shadows are a little harder pressed, so they're not just going to fly everywhere, and you can kind of control where they're going a little easier because you don't have all of that flyaway powder. Unlike with the Australis one, that's part of what makes it look like it's really muddy on your face. This color at the end, this one is Java. You can custom make these palettes now, and you can just buy individual colors. So this color here is Java, and it's perfect for contouring pale skin. It also looks really great as an eyeshadow. This one here is called Vanilla, and as you can see, it is well loved. Most people really like this banana shade, but I find on my skin, because it's also quite cool toned as well as pale, the pink really works a lot better. This palette is really nice, but it's not my favorite. My favorite contour palette is this one here. It's by It Cosmetics, and this is what it looks like on the inside. It's a little broken because I've dropped it, but these two colors here are really nice for contouring. They're not too warm and they're not too cool. These two colors, like, they look crazy because they're white. This white one here I use to just like set my under eye concealer, and it doesn't look white, so you don't have to be afraid. And this highlight, oh my gosh, if you are super pale and you really struggle with highlights, because sometimes they can just show up too much, they can look like a freaking bronze stripe on your face, this one is perfect. Give this a go. Obviously, I'm never going to use it this color because it's a little dark, but I might use it on some of my friends when they're really tan, or I might use it on myself when I'm super tan, but unlikely. I really like this one, and it's got a nice mirror in it as well. You can get this one from Sephora. I guess I'll stick with contouring and then I'll go into highlighting later. This is a MAC palette, but this color right here is a blush, and it's called Harmony, and I really like this one for contouring as well. It can come off a little red if you're not careful because it is a blush, so it's got like a little bit of that redness in it to give a flush, but it's like, I really like that you can use it as both, and it's, yeah, a really nice contouring color for pale people because it's not too warm. It's not going to give you like that orangey look that you don't want. To go with that one, I've got this MAC Emphasize powder. This one is obviously a white powder, and it's got a tiny bit of shimmer in it. I love it for setting my under eye concealer. It just gives kind of like a glow, and because my skin is quite dry under my eyes, it just makes it look really nice and healthy. I really like this powder as well. It's just like a really good quality powder. It is a MAC Pro powder, but I don't know if that really makes that much of a difference in Australia. You can buy any of it online though. If you're just getting into contouring and you don't want to buy a full palette and you want to buy something from the drugstore or Priceline, I really love this Face of Australia blush. It's in the color Terra, And you would think like terracotta, it's going to be super orange, but it's actually quite cool toned, and it is not too pigmented, so you can build it up slowly and you don't have to be scared, again, that you're going to look like you've just painted dirt on your face. I think this one is about $9 as well, so it's pretty much a bargain, and I think I might leave this out so that I use it a little bit more, because it's just kind of been shoved in the back of my drawer and I really do like it. Another idea for contour and blush from the drugstore or Priceline is just to use a darker version of a powder. Obviously, if you have very dark skin already, this really isn't going to work for you, so sorry, but for my pale girls, it's a really good trick, because face powders are meant to blend and kind of sink into your face and just look natural. This is the Revlon Nearly Naked powder, and it's in the color medium deep, and it's what I'm wearing on my face right now, and I think it looks pretty great. I've kind of used it as a bronzer and a contour at the same time. And as you can see, this one is kind of a little more on the warm side, but I don't mind because it blends into my skin so nicely. This Rimmel Natural Bronzer is also from the drugstore, obviously, because it's Rimmel, and this I don't like nearly as much as just using a face powder. It's much more orange than my pale skin tone can really take, and it just doesn't blend into my skin as nicely as just a face powder does. If you are a little darker, or if you're someone who's pale who likes to get a tan, then you could go with this one, but for me, especially because I'm so pink, it just doesn't work. If your undertones are more yellow, then maybe this is a good one to give a try, but it's not for me. This is in the color Sun Bronze, by the way. A bronzer that I love from Priceline is this one by Luma, which is Jess Hart's company. And this one is a shimmery bronzer, so you're not going to want to use this to contour. And in the screen, it looks pretty orangey, but it's not that bad. I just really like this to put all around the perimeter of my face when it's summer. It just makes me look really healthy and glowing, and it's got a bit of a shimmer, but it's more like a sheen, and it's not going to make your face look glittery. This is a really nice one. It is one of the more expensive brands at Priceline though. I think it's like $25 or something like that, and you probably could go and get something a little more high end if that's what you would prefer for not that much more expensive. Speaking of a little more high-end, this is the Tarte Park Avenue Princess Contour Palette, and this is the original one, which I've broken a few times, but that's okay, I fixed it. It comes with a bronzer, a blush, and a highlight, and I love this one. I also have the contour palette number 2, and I really like that as well. The bronzer is the exact same one as the Park Avenue Princess bronzer in matte, but the blush and the highlight in that one are not as good for my pale, cool toned skin. If you had more yellow undertones, then that one might be great for you. But this one is so much more pink. The highlighter has a little pink, the blush is obviously quite pink, and the bronzer kind of looks like it's not going to show up on your face at all, but it's actually so beautiful. It's like a really just nicely, finely milled, and just blends in, and oh, I love it. I've recommended this to so many people, and so many people have said to me that they love it as well, so this one is a win. I'm almost done with the bronzers. This one is the Face Contour Kit by Sleek, and it comes with a bronzer and a highlight. This highlight's a little more peachy. Actually, I wonder how it looks next to Champagne Pop. I might put that on my Instagram so you guys can see, because Champagne Pop is quite peach as well. This one is really nice. I feel like this video is so different to my blush video. In my blush video, I hated all my blushes, and in this one, I love all my bronzers and highlighters and contours almost. I mean, it's good, I guess, that I haven't wasted the money and I don't want to get rid of them. But this one is from Sleek. You can get this on the Sephora AU website, not in store, or I'm pretty sure Sleek also delivers to Australia. But this is the Contour Kit in Light. This one is the Mary Kay bronzer. This is in Chiffon Natural, and it's a sheer dimension powder, and it looks beautiful. Oh my god, I forgot how hard this is to open. It looks beautiful in the pan. Like, look at that carving. It's really nice, but I don't like this on my own skin. It's really shimmery, and it just like, it's just a bit too much. There it is there. So I don't know, I might give this to one of my friends who's a little darker. This one just isn't for me. I have this tiny little bronzer from Galactic. This is in, oh, this is a Star Blush actually, and it's in Saint Tropez, but it's a bronze color. I never use this. It's just a little bit too dark for my skin, honestly. It's just, yeah, it's just a little bit too much, but I am going to keep this and use it on my friends since I've been doing a little bit of makeup lately. So this is a really, really nice powder. If you have skin that's a little darker, then definitely check out Galactic. Unfortunately, you can only buy them online in Australia, which is a bit sucky, but what can you do? They make really, really nice products though. Nothing against this product, but it's just too dark for me. I'm too pale. Second last bronzer slash contour that I have is this one from Essence. It was hiding in the bottom of my box, and I actually really like this for contour. It's a blush and it's in the color Natural Beauty, but it's also one of those ones that you can use for blush, and it's just really pretty. The Essence blushes actually are such good quality. Oh, they're so silky smooth. Oh my god, it's so good. There is that one there, and see next to that Mary Kay one, see how warm that is and then how much cooler that is? This one is way better for me. And this one is like $4.50 or $4 or something from Priceline. So check out the Essence Silk Touch blushes and this one in Natural Beauty for contour. I've got this ColourPop one, and I really like ColourPop products. I think they're great, especially their lipsticks. They're just such good value as well, and the shipping to Australia is a little expensive, but it's nothing crazy, like it's fine. And this bronzer is beautiful. This one is in the color Skinny Dip. It's one of their lighter bronzers. These are kind of a weird formula to work with. I like to use a duo fiber brush with them and just kind of like swirl it into my face. But I find because they're kind of like that creamy-ish formula, they really melt into your face better, and oh, they're just really pretty. I really like the bronzers, and I really like the blushes, and I mean all the other stuff as well, except for the highlight. I don't love this highlight. It could just be this one, but this is in the color Lunch Money. This is what it looks like, and I cannot get this to apply nicely. Someone told me to use my beauty blender, and that worked a little better, but it just still looks like glitter on my face. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So many people like this, but it's just not for me. The color, however, is perfect for a pale girl. Like, look at this. Look how white that is. Like, oh, it's like white gold perfection. And when I swatch it, it looks amazing, but I just can't get it to go like that on my face. Ah, it's so annoying.